Tuition and fees are a standard part of any college student's education, but do you know what all you are paying for? Coming up, we'll have a look at a special event that helps students learn more about the resources available here on campus.
The fall semester may have just started, but for some seniors, graduation is only 3 months away. Find out how one campus department provided options for Red Raiders looking to continue their education beyond graduation next.
And the Texas Tech football team is 2-0 after another big defensive stand against the UTEP Miners. MCTV's Ryan Heller will be in the studio with a look at last week's game, along with a preview of what's next for the Red Raiders in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Angelina Galvan.
And I'm Paige Sachse. Every year, students here at Texas Tech pay thousands of dollars in tuition and fees.
That's right, Paige. And even though the majority of the money goes towards their course load, there's a lot of other resources students pay for that they might not even know exist. Earlier today, the Office of Transition and Engagement held the biannual Texas Techspo in the Sub Ballroom. Starting at 10 a.m., representatives from various groups across campus were on hand to educate students on the perks and resources available through the university. Attendees could learn about academic resources such as free tutoring along with health and wellness options, and everything in between. Groups represented at the Techspo included the University Career Center, Student Legal Services, Student Health Services, and the Texas Tech Police Department. The annual Texas Techspo is held in the fall and spring semester each year.
Motorized scooters have become a common sight on campus, especially since they're now available for anyone to ride. But do you know the rules of the road when you're cruising on a Lime? Texas Tech Transportation and Parking Services teamed up with Lime Scooters to host a back-to-campus event today at the Sub. Representatives from Lime set up a tent in the Sub North Plaza this morning from 10 a.m. to noon to inform students about their First Ride program, which kicked off in the band parking lot behind the Sub at 2:30 p.m. this afternoon. Lime's First Ride program is a 60-minute interactive electric scooter safety course. Today's course included an intro to scooter safety followed by hands-on demo. The course wrapped up with a ride-along tour where participants could hop on a Lime and take a 30-minute guided ride around campus. Today's First Ride safety course was the first one held at Texas Tech since Lime scooters were introduced to campus community last fall.
As of today, there are just over 13 weeks of school before December graduation. Even though it may feel like the end of the semester is an eternity away for some students, the heat is on to figure out the next step towards their future careers. Yesterday afternoon, the University Career Center held the fall edition of their Graduate and Professional School Fair. Students from across campus stopped by the Sub between noon and 3 p.m. to learn about programs here on campus where they could continue their education beyond a bachelor's degree. The fair was open to all students, including undergrads who still have several semesters before they walk the stage at commencement.
I think it's important for students to come out and participate with events like this in order to explore and find out what opportunities there are. I would rather students have too much information than not enough.
Yesterday's event kicked off the UCC's fall schedule of free informational fairs for students. If you would like a full schedule of events for the University Career Center, just head to their website at careercenter.ttu.edu and click on the Events tab near the top of the page.
Last weekend, the Texas Tech Athletic Department hosted the UTEP Miners at Jones AT&T Stadium during the first ever Celebrate Agriculture game. And while the contest on the field may have been the focus for most fans, the topic of agriculture brought the university some added national exposure. On Friday, the Farm Journal brought their annual College Roadshow to campus. The College Roadshow featured the live tapings of the nationally syndicated AgriTalk radio show and U.S. Farm Report TV show outside the Dairy Barn. During the U.S. Farm Report taping, students from the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources lined up outside the Dairy Barn to have a chance to be seen on TV during the broadcast. Both shows also featured interviews with Texas Tech faculty discussing the university's research and efforts in the agricultural community. Both shows aired on radio stations and TV stations throughout the country over the weekend.
Speaking of agriculture, many South Plains farmers are a bit happier after most of the area received some much-needed rainfall earlier this week.
That's true, Angelina, and even though it's been dry on campus since Tuesday, could we see some more rain before the weekend? MCTV's Madison Hartin joins us now with a look at the forecast. Madison?
Thanks, Paige. Well, it is funny that you mentioned rain because we will be getting something a little bit later in the week. But for right now, as we can see from our MCTV tower cam, there's a couple of scattered clouds out in the area, but for the most part, the skies are big and blue and beautiful, just the way I like to see them. Our high for today jumped all the way up to 90 degrees, and it's partly cloudy and very nice and warm outside, so we still have that summer weather. We haven't quite moved into the cooler fall temperatures yet, and our lows for today are going to drop all the way down into the upper 60s, 67 degrees to be exact, partly cloudy with mild temperatures, though we might see a couple of scattered thunderstorms as we go into tonight. For tomorrow, that's when the real rain is going to start. Around Lubbock, we have a 50% chance of rain about a little bit east of us, and then our highest chances of rain for the South Plains area are going to be north of us with a 60% chance of rain, and that is going to continue into later this week. That is going to bring the temperatures down a little bit as that cool moves in, with our lowest temperatures being in about the mid to lower 60s, so a little bit of a cool break, but nothing compared to actual winter temperatures we'll be getting later in the fall semester, and our warmer temperatures are going to be a little bit lower as that rain moves into. Our highest temperatures are only going to be in about the mid 80s. Looking at tomorrow for Friday the 13th, we're going to be having some showers, so if you needed more of a reason not to go out on Friday the 13th, it's going to be very rainy, 50% chance of rain, high of 83, low of 65, and an east by southeasterly wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Saturday, it will have cleared up a little bit, but we will have some scattered clouds around, high of 87, low of 64, and a southerly wind of 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then for Sunday, all of that cloud cover will have moved out of the area, and Sunday will be bright and sunny. High of 89, low of 66, and a southerly wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, right now, it's unclear if we are going to see another chance of rain come through the area into next week. It's a little bit soon to tell, but the only thing that's predictable about West Texas weather is that it is unpredictable. We never know what the West Texas weather is going to bring to us here on Texas Tech campus, but I will be here to report it. Madison Hartin for MCTV, back to you, Paige.
Thanks, Madison. With the new semester in full swing, homework and projects may be filling up your extra time. But if you are looking for an escape from your studies, One Campus Group has a fun and free option for you. Here's a look at today's MCTV events calendar. Tonight, the Student Activities Board is hosting a screening of It, Chapter 2 at the Stars and Stripes Drive-In at 8 p.m. It, Chapter 2 continues the horror saga of Pennywise the Clown, who returns after 27 years to terrorize the residents of Derry, Maine. Tonight's screening is free for the first 200 students with a Tech ID. But if you can't make it out to the drive-in, be sure to check out SAB's calendar of events for a list of fun and free activities for students throughout the semester. Just visit sab.ttu.edu.
If you are a student in the College of Engineering, or if you might be interested in changing your major, there's a special celebration taking place tomorrow just for you. The Texas Tech Engineering Kickoff is scheduled for 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow in the Engineering Key north of the Memorial Circle. During the event, the Whitaker College of Engineering will offer free pizza and drinks along with activities and a student resource fair. Student organizations from the college will also be on hand to let attendees know about their group. Tomorrow's engineering kickoff is free for all students.
And on Saturday, you can help out a local organization working to save lives in the Texas Tech and Lubbock communities. The annual Out of the Darkness Suicide Awareness and Prevention Walk will be held here on campus from noon to 4:30 p.m. The event is hosted each year by the Lubbock chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Registration for Saturday's event starts at noon, with the actual walk taking place from 3 to 4 p.m. Attendees will start at the Fraser Alumni Pavilion and work their way around campus. For more information or to register ahead of this weekend's walk, visit afsp.org/Lubbock. If you've been on campus over the last 2 weekends, then you're well aware that football season is back in full swing.
MCTV's Ryan Heller has the highlights from the Red Raiders football team's most recent outing at the Jones, along with a look around Tech athletics and sports. Ryan?
Thank you, Angelina and Paige. Texas Tech football came out with guns blazing as they demolished the UTEP Miners last Saturday, 38-3. Alan Bowman was on fire, throwing for 260 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sir Roger Thompson ran for 45 yards and a touchdown, and TJ Vasher had 6 catches for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. This Saturday, the Red Raiders will have their toughest test so far, as they will head to Tucson to face the Arizona Wildcats. That game will be at 9:30, and you can catch it on ESPN. Texas Tech soccer is getting off to a fantastic start as they start off their season 5-1. They are coming off a 1-0 win over Arkansas State. Their only goal was scored by Kristen Davis off a very strange header to the net in the 27th minute of the game. This weekend, they will head to Pullman, Washington for the Cougar Classic at Washington State University. They will have the 2 games over in Washington, the first against Loyola Marymount tomorrow at 6 p.m. and the second game against UC Irvine on Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Texas Tech volleyball is also coming off a recent victory. On Monday, they defeated Northern Illinois 3-1. Emily Hill was amazing with 19 kills and 3 blocks. Allison White was also incredible with 10 kills and 7 blocks. And Tatum Rome was on fire with 43 assists. Tomorrow, they will head to Las Vegas, Nevada for the UNLV Invitational. They will have a doubleheader tomorrow and will face Pacific at 2 p.m. and then UNLV at 9 p.m. On Saturday, they will face Idaho at 1:30 p.m. Now for news outside of Tech. On to the NFL with Thursday Night Football. Tonight, Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will take on Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. That game will be at 7:20 on NFL Network. And that's all for sports. Back to you, Paige and Angelina.
Thanks, Ryan. So, Angelina, how's the beginning of your fall semester going?
You know what, Paige? I can't complain. How about you?
It's going well. I'm busy, but I'm glad to be back. And that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check out ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.